We all know how life is. One moment you're young and carefree with all the time in the world to do whatever you want. Then before you know it, you're 20-something with a full-time job, bills to pay, and an inability to turn your head all the way to the left if you sleep a bit funny. Due to said adult responsibilities, we find that those heady days spent immersing ourselves in complex narratives and multifaceted character arcs become fewer and fewer, and we long for something quick to play in between conference calls, walking the dog and mowing the lawn. That's why we've pulled together this list, because sometimes you need a bit of escapism that you can jump in and out of at your leisure and that isn't going to take up your whole Saturday. That sounds nice. I'm Ben from TripleJump, and here are 10 games to play when you're too busy for games. Number 10. Apex Legends. Some might argue that the Battle Royale genre has become somewhat saturated over the past couple of years, and those people might be onto something, in all honesty. But you shouldn't let that put you off, because there are a great number of titles that offer an insane amount of fun without tying you into a massive time commitment. One of said titles is Apex Legends, an excellent game of the kill everyone until there is a lone victor persuasion. Buddy up with a couple of pals or join a pair of randos from the internet. Pick your legend from a lineup of over a dozen different characters, each with their own unique set of skills and playstyle, and then get to the killing. Just try to stay in the safe zone if you don't want your character to find out the true meaning of pain. Another great thing about Apex Legends is that it's free to play, so you don't have to spend your hard-earned dollary dues on giving it a go. While the game is monetized through microtransactions and loot boxes, for God's sake EA, you just can't help yourselves, can you? There's no gameplay advantage to be had from these, and they simply offer cosmetic items such as outfits for your legends and new colors for weapons. Ooh. I reckon this assault rifle would look mighty dashing in purple, don't you? Number 9. Dota 2. If you're looking for something a bit more challenging but only have the odd hour here or there, then Dota 2 might be just the game for you. Although each match lasts between 40 and 60 minutes, new players are in for quite the steep learning curve as they get to grips with the game's mechanics, which sees 2 teams of 5 facing off against each other in order to destroy the opposition's ancient MacGuffin, all the while defending their own. The high skill floor comes into play with the 100+ character library, as the new players must familiarize themselves with each hero's abilities, items, and playstyles. Not only this, but the in-game strategizing will also give newbies a decent challenge as they navigate the ins and outs of grinding for experience and gold while remaining focused on the main objective. Whilst it may take a few sessions before you truly get the hang of it, there's no need to do it all at once, making it perfect for those of us who are fitting it in between shifts down the mines or whatever proper adults do for work these days. Those who have played and enjoyed the likes of the Soulsborne series will appreciate the satisfaction to be had from getting good, so if a hefty bit of frustration is what you fancy, I highly suggest getting in on that Dota 2 action. Number 8. The Sims. After a rough day at the office, it's good to kick back with a nice cold beer, a slice of pizza, and a game that allows you to create the likeness of your boss and drown them in a pool. I hasten to add, not my current boss. Love you, Adam. Things that I should probably talk to my therapist about aside, any of the entries in the Sims series offer a wonderful escape from the mundanities of reality, allowing you to live out your greatest fantasies, such as getting enough sleep at night or going for a jog without keeling over. Not only this, but you don't have to spend hours on the game in order to get loads of enjoyment out of it. If you're so inclined, you can have a grand old time just creating a character or building yourself your dream house. We all know you're going to use Motherload, but don't worry, we don't judge here. Or maybe you could work on getting your sim that promotion they've always dreamed of. And if you're feeling particularly sadistic, just turn off free will and see how long it takes for them to pee themselves. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I probably need to go and have a little lie down. Number 7. Dead by Daylight. Like the majority of gamers, we at TripleJump play video games to unwind after a long day of playing video games, but just occasionally we like to immerse ourselves in something that gets the heart racing and knocks the old blood pressure up by a few points. Sadly, we don't always have hours to commit to horror games with a complicated story, and that's where Dead by Daylight comes in. In each round, you choose to play as the killer or one of 4 survivors. As a survivor, you'll need to use stealth and strategy to power up 5 generators to open the door to the arena, all while doing everything in your power to avoid the killer, because those meat hooks, they're not meant for a side of beef. Yikes. If you decide to play as the killer, your task is to dispatch as many of the survivors as possible before they're able to escape. Depending on which killer you choose, you'll be bestowed with a unique skill, such as the ability to throw a hatchet, get closer to your victims before they notice you, or attach the reverse bear trap from saw to their head. The base game comes with plenty of generic survivors and suitably scary killers, but if you've ever fancied terrorizing teenagers as Michael Myers, no, not that one, Freddy Krueger or Ghostface, then you can purchase additional DLC for less than the price of a fancy cappuccino, which you probably won't need since you shan't be doing much sleeping after this. Number 6. Rocket League. If you're really into cars and football, not only would you probably struggle to maintain a conversation with Tiny Peter down the pub, but you're also probably already aware of a little game called Rocket League. And if you're not a fan of cars or football, then you might just enjoy Rocket League anyway. If for no other reason than you're expected to know neither what a head gasket is, nor the offside rule. In Rocket League, blue and orange teams go head-to-head to attempt to score as many goals as possible during the allotted time, and because you're playing with vehicles rather than squishy people, there's no fouls, no injury time, and certainly no amateur dramatics because your Vauxhall Nova poked my Nissan Micra. There's also very little waiting around for other players, as there's a maximum team size of 4, so you won't be hanging around in the lobby for hours on end waiting for other folks to ready up, and once you're in a game, you can be crowned winner within just 5 short minutes. In addition to this, if you've got a little bit of time, then there's plenty of fun to be had in customizing your car, with lots of fantastical paint jobs, funky decals, and even hats to choose from. Number 5. Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution. Do you dream of ruling your own kingdom but just don't have the time, motivation, or military prowess? Then CivRev might just be the game for you. Whilst Sid Meier's other Civilization titles can take days to complete a game, with Civilization Revolution, you can smash out a super quick empire in a mere couple of hours. Originally released back in 2008 for the PS3, Xbox 360, and the Nintendo DS, 2K Games have since released versions for iOS and Windows Phone, meaning you don't even need a console to have a bash at this one, and can conquer the world on your smartphone. You'll start out in 4000 BCE with a single settler hut, and with each turn you explore and expand, forming cities, researching technologies, and forming military units. Build yourself some wonders like the Magna Carta, attract some cultural bods such as Leonardo da Vinci and Aristotle, or just build up your gold reserves like your Smorg on an episode of Hoarders. Victory is achieved by invading and capturing all other civilizations' capital cities, the old British way, gaining enough great persons that you can claim a cultural victory, stockpiling gold for an economic win, or building yourself a spaceship and heading off into space for that sweet technological triumph. Elon Musk would be so proud. Number 4. Super Smash Bros. Sometimes even finding a spare hour to settle down to some nice fun video games is out of the question, so you want a title that packs as much punch in as little time as possible. Get it? Because Smash Bros is a fighting game and you do punches? No? Okay, never mind. Horrible wordplay aside, if you can only find 20 minutes between doing your laundry and hoovering your flat before your landlord comes to inspect it, you could do worse than having a quick game of Super Smash Bros. If you've got some friends to hand, you can battle against each other, or if you're a little lacking in the chum department, then you can still have an excellent time facing off against the computer. Longtime Nintendo aficionados will be pleased to see a plethora of fan-favorite characters on the roster. Pick from the likes of Link, Yoshi, Pikachu, Donkey Kong, and many, many more before entering the arena and beating the proverbial bejesus out of your opponents. There's a certain level of skill required to become proficient at Super Smash Bros, no button mashing in this house, but as it's targeted at all ages, the learning curve isn't too steep, and whilst you may be challenged at first, you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of the game. Because let's be honest, who wouldn't want to slap the smug look off Bowser's stupid Koopa face? Number 3. Overwatch. There have been many examples of great first-person shooters over the years, with the likes of Call of Duty and Halo dominating the scene, but most of these come with a complex narrative to follow, and gosh dang it, we just don't have the time. Enter Overwatch, a fantastic team-based shooter from the people that brought you Diablo and World of Warcraft. No matter how you like to play, be it DPS, tank, or support, or if you've had to Google each of those terms, you can just choose a hero that works for you. Choose from the likes of Soldier 76, the highly trained warrior boasting an experimental pulse rifle that shoots rockets, Diva, the 19-year-old former pro gamer with a giant mech suit that can also shoot rockets, and Mercy, the Swiss healer that has the ability to resurrect the dead. Sadly, she can't shoot rockets though. But don't worry if none of those guys appeal to you, because there's a roster of over 30 heroes for you to browse. Join a team of 6 to face off against another group in quick play, or jump into the arcade to play modes such as Capture the Flag, Deathmatch, or my personal favourite, Total Mayhem, in which heroes are given double HP and seriously reduced cooldowns. One of the great things about Overwatch is that new maps and updates are given to players free of charge, so there's no need to pay for expensive DLC. You can buy loot boxes if you choose, but there's absolutely no need as they only contain cosmetic items and can be won by playing the game anyway. Come on, gold items. Bloody greys again. Number 2. Minecraft. Now, while we did say for this list that you don't have to spend a lot of time on these games, that doesn't mean that you can't. Take Minecraft, for example. If you can spare the odd hour, a lovely old time awaits for you to potter about the procedurally generated world, digging the odd hole or getting blown up by a creeper. Or you can have an equally enjoyable experience spending months constructing yourself a palace made out of diamonds to match your diamond-clad pony. The point I'm trying to make here is that you can play your way at your leisure, which is why Minecraft is a great game to dip in and out of if you haven't got all that much in the way of spare time. Fire it up for the odd hour here and there to do a bit of gathering and crafting, explore a nearby mine, or spruce up your lodgings. If you've got a bit more time, have a go at luring some farm animals into a paddock so you can have some milk, eggs, and wool on tap. Or simply jump in a boat and see how far you can sail before your boss yells at you because you haven't done those reports he asked for last week. To be fair though, that's on you. Number 1. Mario Kart. If you ever find yourself in the position of having far too little time on your hands for gaming, too many friends, and not enough stress in your life, then a few quick rounds of Mario Kart might just be the remedy to all your problems. A mainstay of the gaming landscape since 1992, Mario Kart has been delighting victorious drivers, ousting sore losers, and destroying relationships in a way we haven't seen since my mum forced the family to play Monopoly that one Christmas. I still have the tiny boot-shaped scar. Mario Kart is arguably one of the most accessible racing games out there. The premise and controls are incredibly simple, allowing players of all abilities to get in on the fun, while the roster of Nintendo favorites appeals to both new gamers and seasoned veterans. What's more, it's a solid game to fire up for a quick few rounds without needing to immerse yourself in complex narrative or lore. So the next time you get half an hour to yourself, gather a few friends or play by yourself if you're so inclined, fire up your Nintendo console of choice, configure the perfect racer and kart, then whiz around Rainbow Road to your heart's content. Just try not to get too angry when your nan hits you with that blue shell. And that's our list. What other games can you jump in and out of when you're super busy? Let us know in the comments down below. Just keep it brief because we got work to do. You can follow myself and TripleJump on Twitter here, and while you're at it, why not support the things you enjoy by having a look at our Patreon? Finally, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Ben from TripleJump, and thanks for watching.